Namaskaram. Welcome to my channel, BPK Nutrition, Mind Body Healing with Pushpa. I'm Pushpa Soundarajan, and I'm going to be talking about the last Niyama, Niyama number 5, Ishvara Pranidaanam, as stated in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And this is a very important concept to understand to progress in yoga. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everyone. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Niyama number 5, Ishwara Pranidaanam, taken from the Yoga Sutras 1.23 and 1.24. Again, we have already covered the first 5 yamas and the 4 niyamas, which are all virtues, values, and discipline that we need to practice in order to grow in yoga. Now, that involves a lot of self-effort, and again, it is a gradual process. Now, today's concept is very unique. And again, all of those things apply to Ayurveda as well, because Ayurveda is about taking care of the body and the mind, so you get yourself ready for spirituality. However, in yoga, we add this one extra component of Ishwara Pranidhanam, where we are surrendering this identification with the body and mind to a higher altar. So what is this individual ego that we talk about? Individual ego is our idea of who we think we are. As far as physical is concerned, mental is concerned, it could mean you're a man, woman, certain from a certain country, a certain religion. You have certain accomplishments, achievements, wife, daughter, son, etc. All of these things give us a certain identity. And most people, we all need this identity to a certain extent in order to function in this world, because you have to know who you are in order to interact with another human being. So it is not necessarily a bad thing to have this sort of a identification. However, when it comes to yoga and when you're trying to get to a higher plane of consciousness, you need to surrender this identity about yourself. So we surrender to this Ishvara. Again, Ishvara is loosely translated as God for people's understanding. However, Ishvara is described in the Sutra 1.24 as the Supreme Purusha, who is free of any of the modifications of the body and mind in the material sense. So it is described as free of or unaffected by the kleshas, which is the kind of things that we have, all of the impurities of the mind and the emotions. It is free of the karmas, the actions, the vipakas, which are the results of these actions. We worry about those kinds of things, but the Ishvara is unaffected by that. And also the ashaya. Ashaya means our inherent tendencies, our likes and dislikes and things like that. So again, when we submit to this Ishvara wholeheartedly and completely giving up that identification in to the higher altar, then we tend to imbibe those divine qualities within us. And so we are trying to make a heart-to-heart connection with the divinity. So when you sit in meditation, this is where you would do the connection, and slowly and gradually you will see yourself getting more and more divine qualities and get rid of some of these impurities from our being. So today I'm going to be sharing about 5 different practices that you can adopt, again using my emoji to talk about those things. Number 1, first level of surrender is surrendering the body in asana practice. Now, the more you allow yourself to go along with the body movements and not think about it so much, but just allow it to happen on its own, you will see that your flexibility also increases quite a bit, and you also feel more relaxed and in tune with the divine within. Number 2, for the practice of Ishvara Pranidhanam, it is very important to have a very Sattvic mind to even think in those terms. So that means nourishing our bodies with a Sattvic diet, which is nutritious, easily digested, in moderation, and also eaten at the right time as shown in Ayurveda. Number 3, in the mental level, we need a peaceful, serene mind, a Sattvic mind in order to access that divinity within. For that, Pranayama goes a long way in cleansing our body and our thoughts and our emotions to get to that point of balance. Ishvara Pranidhanam is very important in meditation. It is the practice of surrendering our ego to a higher altar, giving up that identification of who you think you are, and try to embrace the qualities of the divine. In chapter 12 of the Bhagavad Gita, called Bhakti Yoga, Lord Krishna says that for embodied souls like us, it is very difficult to meditate on a formless Brahman or consciousness itself. So he advises, imagine Ishta devata, or a god of your choosing, and imagine yourself sitting at the feet of that Lord, and give up your ego and connect with your heart. Once we make that connection, then the divinity will take over during the meditation, and meditation will become so much more effortless and joyful. Number 5, with any spiritual practice, including yoga, we always start with Om and end with Om in order to connect with that divinity within, and also show our attitude of surrender, Ishvara Pranidaanam. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Just to give you a recap, number 1, in physical practice, asana practice, surrender the body. Number 2, eat a proper nutritious diet of Sattvic foods to keep your mind and body clean. Number 3, Pranayama helps to cleanse your breath as well as your body and keep your mind free of any negative emotions. Number 4, submit to Lord in meditation, and try to make a heart-to-heart connection to imbibe some of those divine qualities. And number 5, always chant Om at the beginning and the end of each spiritual practice to acknowledge the divinity within. Thank you everyone for joining me. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. Please like it, subscribe, and share this video with others who might be benefited. Have a wonderful week ahead, and see you next week.